everyone. Welcome to Tuesdays 10 at 10. I am Dr. Lynn Carson from Wikipedia, and I will be answering questions as usual today. So welcome. And let me just jump right in because we have quite a few questions today. For those of you who do not know this format, on Tuesdays, I come onto social media to answer all the questions that come through to me via direct messages, via emails, and via the website. So if I don't get to answer your question and you really need your answer, go to our forum. That's wikipedia.com/academy. You have to register as a member to join our forums. Ask the questions there, okay? First question today: does the source of inulin, agave, chicory root, beets have an effect on finished baked goods such as tortillas? So with the small amount of inulin that you would use for tortilla production, I would say no. What I would look at is really the quality of the inulin, because inulin is the fiber aspect of these sugars. And the source, as in who produces it, matters more than where it comes from, okay? And the kind of process that they have in place. So if you're having quality issues from inulin, try to have a discussion with your supplier and understand what's the sugar content in it. If it's a finely processed inulin, there shouldn't be any sugar content in there, but you never know. You just have to check, okay? And if you suspect you have quality issues there, then it's good to check the absorption values of these fibers, and obviously, I don't know too much about inulin to really give you the really specific quality parameter to look for. But like any other kinds of fiber, it's really dependent on the processing and the, what would you call it? The extraction of the fiber and what kind of chemicals they use that really affects its function in the final product. Okay, so just to answer the question again, I do not think that the source of the inulin from either of those different agave or chicory root really matters as much as the process and the particle size of the final product. Okay, I hope that answers your questions. Okay, so on to the donut page. I hope you're doing well. Thank you. I hope you're doing well too during this pandemic. I am facing problems in storage of donut glaze. I use powdered sugar, water, vanilla extract in my glaze, and when I store it in a stainless steel bin, after a day or two, the very bottom gets to harden. The top 4 or 5 inches stays good. But over time, an inch or two or layer of sugar forms at the bottom. I am looking for an easy additive to my glaze that would not alter the taste but prevent it from getting hardened. So there are very simple solutions to do this, and I'm not concerned about the solutions. I'm concerned about the food safety aspect of this product. So let's just talk about the solutions first, okay? When you mix sugar and water together, it will suspend in the water, right? To a certain extent, then the sugar will crystallize if it's too much of it. Okay, so that's one thing to think about, is crystallization. The next thing is with powdered sugar, there is starch in there. Okay, so what you do is starch. Starch doesn't do anything with water. It mixes up nicely, but then guess what? When it cools down, it settles to the ground. So this is where and why you're seeing that hard layer of sugar at the bottom. Crystallization and starch particle deposit. Okay, so one thing to look at is starch is actually somewhat of a natural emulsifier, so just give it a cook. All right, and I'll also emphasize why this cook is important. So starch gelatinization happens depending on the water percentage at around 140 to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so get it to that point so that you can gelatinize whatever starch is left in there. Okay, and if that doesn't work, if that doesn't suspend the starch and make it a thicker viscosity to hold everything in suspension, then you have to think about either adding a hydrocolloid or an emulsifier. No, sorry, not emulsifier, just a hydrocolloid. Okay, because there's no oils in the system, you don't need an emulsifier. But think about adding a really low percentage of hydrocolloids, which is around 0.1 max, okay, 0.05 to 0.1% of the formulation, the total formulation. Hydrocolloids would be able to thicken the viscosity, which would be able to hold all the particles in suspension. Okay, so hydrocolloids will help. Now, this is why I want you to cook to 160 to 180 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, kill step. When you mix up slurries like that and you leave it for a few days, guess what's going to happen? Bacteria is going to get in there. It's going to ferment. It's going to make people sick. Okay, so you don't want that. All right, because eventually if you're making such a big batch and you're leaving it aside, it means that you don't have time to make small batches every day, right? So you're not in charge of the process. Okay, so someone else is. If someone else does this and they mix it up with dirty hands and no face covering, you're gonna get a lot of people sick, especially with that much amount of slurry. Okay, so please think about introducing a kill step into your glaze production. Okay, and when that happens, you should be able to leave your glaze probably about 2 to 3 days longer. I wouldn't suggest any longer unless you use preservatives. Okay, now if you're gonna keep your glaze refrigerated for maybe 30 days, it's time to think about preservatives because this is such a high water activity. Go to our water activity page and you will see what I mean. High water activity means a lot of bacterial potential for bacterial growth, and you need to stop that by using potassium sorbate, potassium benzoate, sorbic acid, reducing the pH. So a lot of things you have to consider. Do come to our shelf life big review later this month. No, next month in August. Richard will be presenting on certain aspect of cake and glaze preservation over life, and I'll be presenting on bread preservation. So come to our big review and you can learn more about preservation and how to develop shelf stable products. Okay, all right. Next, a lot of questions on preservatives. People are looking to extend their shelf life. Okay, how much sorbate can I use in 2 kilos of wheat flour to make donuts? Okay, so don't go above 1% sorbate total flour solids. Okay. On our lesson page, how can I extend the shelf life of chocolate chip better? Oh, chocolate chip cookie dough. All right. So, food safety wise, it's not a big concern because you're going to have a kill step after that, unless you can eat a chocolate chip cookie dough raw. So that's a lot of questions for me on this question on the lecithin page, because I don't know what is the final product that you're trying to make. If you're trying to make a cookie dough that's going to be baked at your customer's um, location, then I wouldn't recommend any preservatives. Just keep it in the freezer and take it out whenever. Okay. And if it's going to be a chocolate chip cookie dough that you're going to eat later, let's have a whole lot of separate conversation on that altogether, because you need to use heat treated flour and all these other preservatives in there. Okay. Again, if you have any questions concerning chocolate chip cookies or cakes or chemical leaven products, go to Bakerpedia YouTube channel and look up episodes 26, 27, and 35. Okay, those episodes are going to help you learn more about what's required when developing shelf-stable products. Okay, so I hope you understand that Tuesday's 10 at 10s are now focused on shelf life issues. And we are going to have a shelf life discussion with Bakerview coming in August. So please look out for it. Go to bakerpedia.com/academy and sign up for the Bakerview and ask all the questions you want. It's going to be an exciting session. Okay, so up next, let's talk about masa madre. Okay, and what is masa madre? Masa madre is a new way of creating a bacterial fermentation. Instead of yeast, you use bacteria, and you create a loaf of bread out of that, okay, within 24 hours. Yeah, something new. So come learn this Thursday on our sourdough bake review. Sign up today at bakerpedia.com/academy. Okay, so we have a lot to do here at Bakerpedia, answering questions and writing, research and writing new technical topics on baking. So send us a shout out if you need anything or you need any help marketing your product. Okay. So that's all for today. I will see you all tomorrow again, and I will deep dive into the knowledge of masa madre tomorrow on Wisdom Wednesday.